Hello, I'm Leo. Lovely to meet you.
And you? What did you say your name was?
Leo.
Leo. Hi, Leo.
What's your name?
Who's called Leo? April.
April.
Yeah.
April is definitely my type.
I really love this. I think April and Leo are a great couple. I really think they're a great match, and it's going to be interesting how they sort of fit in with the rest of the group, because we have couples in the group that are pretending to be pretending to be number one couple. So when they see people that have clicked from first sight, I wonder how that's going to feel, and I can't wait for the dinner party and all that commotion that comes with that. And then, oh my God, Sarah is really working overtime to try and revamp her character. I have a feeling the reason why she's still in the experiment is because she's trying to revamp her character. The fact that she was speaking to her friend and speaking to Dean's friend and trying to make it seem like they were doing very well when we all have seen otherwise tells you all you need to know about the reason why she's still on the show. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight UK, Season 10, Episode 14. I just want to apologize that my two previous reviews were running late just because I was busy with work, and I do get times where I have to prioritize work over this. Anyway, so we pick up from Merv and Joe having a visit from their loved ones. There is a lot of anxiety that comes with in-laws week, and it makes sense that they haven't seen you since wedding day, and whatever impression they had of you there, they're now having to sort of see whether the impression is still the same or whether things have changed. And we all know she wasn't she didn't make a very good impression on first reveal at the wedding, because she constantly was intoxicated and was asking for alcohol, and his mom was anxious because he's trying to stay away from alcohol. So I get it. You have Joe saying that his mom is coming to see him, and Merv is saying that her friend is coming to see her. So they're both anxious because they don't know how their loved ones are going to feel. Sarah and Dean. Sarah and Dean also have their friends coming round to see them. Dean is still feeling some type of way because he feels disrespected by Sarah. I personally feel like Dean should have left. Yes, he needs to do work, but he could have easily signed up for counseling elsewhere. He didn't need to be on TV to do that. He could have done that elsewhere, because this woman, yes, as he says, she has disrespected him. And so for Sarah to say she's hoping for things to improve, she's not. She's just saying that for the camera, just because she's trying to revamp her character, and sadly she's not doing a very good job of that. So I don't get why we're going through this charade. We get to meet the final couple to get married. April is 31. She's a business owner. When they said business owner, I don't know what I was thinking, only to find out she runs a waffle stand. But they did look great. The crepes and waffles or whatever she was selling, they looked amazing. She says she seems very over the top. She's got 2 brothers and a sister, and she's got 9 nieces and nephews. She's very spontaneous, and her last boyfriend hid things from her. That's all she said. I don't know what she means by that, whether he cheated or whether he had a wife. Whatever happened with her ex seems to have caused her a lot of pain. So she is really in this space whereby she's ready to find love, and she's hoping to find someone who is adventurous, caring, funny, confident. And she's matched with Leo, who's also 31. Well, he's 31, she's 32. He's been single for 5 years. At 18, he moved to Australia. It seems he's done quite a number of things. He's got a mullet, which is something that you'll see from especially if you watch Love Island Australia, the guys are always having a mullet. I don't know whether it's something that they do a lot in Australia. He says he loves to travel. His ex cheated on him. So he wants someone who loves traveling, spontaneous, and wants to grab life by the balls. And it's like, this is who April is. It's as though, they had this checklist. It seems to me the second round of weddings or the second round of matches are way better than the first round that we had, and I see there's going to be problems because the other couples are going to feel intimidated, especially if they find out that the new couples are working very well. We then go back to Merv and Joe. They get a visit from his mum. His mum obviously is very anxious about her son because her son is trying to sort of recover from the substance abuse, and she, I think, has been his foundation to keep him grounded. Anyway, apparently they share the same values in that they like to have their own space. the mom asked, do you think there's a future for the two of you? And there was a pause because I don't think they had thought about it because they've been so contained in this bubble. And these are things that they haven't tried to sort of think about. And they expressed that they'd said, I love you to one another. And they're not sure whether it's because they really love one another or it's because of the bubble. Anyway, you had Merv leave for a bit. And so his mom asked him, and I'm happy she did, because she asked him, have you considered moving? Because this is a single mom. You can't expect her to uproot her son for you. That would mean you would have to go. And he's saying that's sort of 2 hours away. I've sort of managed to stabilize my life where I am now, and I'm very grounded. I love my job. I love where I live, and everything has been able to give me calm. So I don't know how we're going to do that. It's 2 hours. They could commute it. Or one could come over one weekend, the other one could go the next weekend if they really were serious about it. You had Merv come back, and she really loved Joe's mom because she said, she's very comforting, she's very warm, and she makes you feel very welcome. So I love that for her, and I hope it works. Then we get to April and Leo's wedding day. April is on cloud nine. I actually love April. Yes, she's hyper, but she doesn't come across as hyper as Lisha. Lisha, I think, is over the top and is actually going to wind up the rest of the group with time. Anyway, she says she wants a tall guy. She wants someone with a beard. Her mom was saying, I really want this to work because she's been through a hard time and I really want her to find her person. And it's like, I hope it works for her. I hope it works. With Leo, his mom and sister also came and they said, he really wants someone. He really needs someone. And she is hoping that this works for her son. And so when Leo walks down the aisle, you can see as soon as he comes down that, April's mommy likey. Because as soon as she saw him, she went, yeah. Because April wanted tall, check. She wanted a beard, check. She wanted a manly man, he's got a mo, check. Well, I don't know whether a mo is a manly man. When April walked down the aisle, Leo was impressed. He loved it. And when she read out her vows were an introduction of herself. I know in the US version of Married at First Sight, you have families sort of write something about their loved one, sort of introducing to the husband before he marries or to the wife before she marries. And so the fact that she introduced herself, she spoke about being spontaneous, about loving to travel, and he loved it. Even his family, you could see they were really excited. They really loved that bit. So I can't wait to see what happens there. You have Sarah and Dean. They're getting ready for their guests. And Sarah is saying all the right things, but she's not doing the right things. Because even in her interviews, she's got this smile on her face. And then as soon as the questions stop, her smile changes to a frown. And it's like, I wish she knew that production are leaving the camera rolling after she said whatever she says. Because I think she's saying what she says. And then she's assuming that they're cutting once she's finished. Not really realizing that they're on her awkward sort of facial expressions. Anyway, they're waiting for her friend Caitlin to come round. They're preparing a meal and, he's trying to ask her for what to do. And she's saying, I would never tell you what to do. You do what's best. And it's like, ma'am, we know you're putting on a persona. You're putting on an act. So you have them sit down and Sarah's busy saying it's been hard, with these things that have been very testing us, and it's been us sort of working hard to try and sort of repair that and move on. Dean's friend arrives, and Dean's friend is not with the toxic mess. He's not with that. I have a feeling he was given a heads up by Dean, so he came in guns blazing and was ready to tear everything down, because he asked her, tell me one interesting fact about Dean that you've learned, and she couldn't find anything. And it's like, oh my God, how does it take you that long? You could have said, he's someone who loves to sing. He's already told her, I love to sing. I express my feelings through song. So the fact that she didn't say that and she used it as an ick, I didn't get it. The fact that he likes to joke and stuff, I still didn't get why she felt the need to do that. And then she went into this sort of dialogue where she was saying to him, we've been doing very well, haven't we, Dean? Haven't we? So more or less to tell him that you have to support what I'm saying, otherwise there's going to be war. And so I didn't get it. And the fact that Dean cannot speak for himself, given the fact that he says he's a motivational speaker, I don't understand as well. That's confusing for me. And so it then came up about the comments at the dinner party. It came up about the comments that she made about the producer and the fact that she said, I got an egg. The friend wasn't happy. Dean's friend wasn't happy because he said that's very disrespectful. The audacity for her to say that. Why would she feel the need to say that? She can't continually be saying disrespectful things about him and then turn around and say, I'm sorry. Say something disrespectful and turn around and say, I'm sorry. And it's like, well, maybe you need to have a conversation with your friend and make him understand that he doesn't need to allow himself to be used by someone else. Merv's friend then arrives. She sits down with her and Joe, and she's asking, how have the two of you been? Have you discussed? His mom asked this, and the friend asked this. Have you discussed life after the experiment? Have you discussed moving after the experiment? And so the fact that they're saying we're taking day by day makes you think that this is too good to be true. The two of them don't want to look outside the experiment because they know that their sort of situation won't work. The fact that she likes to party and drink and he doesn't like to party and drink, that is going to play a major part. The fact that she's also got a child is something that's going to play a part into them sort of considering life outside of the experiment. And so I love that once Joe had left, the friend asked, is he too good to be true? Is this genuine? What is going on here? And so this is now up to Merv to sort of sit down with Joe and say to Joe, where do we go from here? Because she was saying after speaking to people, she's starting to think of that. And it's like, yeah, this is something the two of you should have thought about before you started declaring love and everything else. Yes, it's well and true for you to say I love you, but what happens to that love once we leave the show? Is that love coming to an end, or are we continuing to grow that love? So I love that her friend was able to bring that up. April and Leo on Cloud 9, they really like the person that they've been matched with. They really like the packaging, this the instant spark that everyone else is always looking for. So they are excited. They were sort of speaking about traveling and what they want to do. And they were sort of saying they're very impressed with the person that they've been matched with. I love that, Leo's mom and sister were saying that, they're happy that he's found his ideal woman or his dream woman, someone that he himself would have gone looking for. So they are excited at that. When they sit down for dinner, you have them sit very close to one another. They're constantly leaning in towards each other, and everybody else around them could see that these people really like one another. So, which is good when you're matched with someone that you like. I think the experiment works better for you. They then went and sat by the fireplace, and they were having a conversation and saying everything I wanted on my list. The experts gave it to me, and so now I'm questioning that they give you a speech and ask you to come and perform because it's too good to be true. And I get it, I understand it, and I hope production, given the fact that we as viewers were upset with the first couple of couples that they showed us, I hope this couple actually work, because we need at least one couple to work. I have a feeling April and Leo and Abigail and I've forgotten her husband's name, they are the couples that have the highest chance of working. Abigail and John, I think they have the best opportunity to sort of work if they continue to sort of focus on the positives that they found in their partner. You then have Sarah stay with her friend, and Dean goes to have a conversation with his friend, because I think they're trying to sort of open up and explain everything that's been going on in the marriage. Sarah saying there's no spark, he's so nice, but I'm thinking of whether just to kiss him to see if there is something there. The friend says you can't force chemistry, and the friend was sort of speaking to the cameras and saying, I think, that's the impression that I got. I feel like she was talking to the viewers that, Sarah's been given a negative edit. This is not the person that she is. She's a good person. She just needs to show it. And it's like, well, the things that she's done thus far outweigh anything good she could do. It's too late for her to change her character, and it seems like she's changing herself because she knows the cameras are there. She's changing herself not because that's the person that she is, but she's changing herself because she knows she's not going to be able to deal with the smoke that will come after she leaves the show. So the idea that the friend was trying to chastise the viewers and production and say, my friend is a very good friend, you need to see the good in her, I didn't buy it. Dean was having a conversation with his friend. He was telling his friend that it's been hard. She said there's no spark. She told one of the producers that she really liked them. This was brought up both times, even when they sat down, the four of them. And so, there was a conversation with the friend asking, Are you wasting your time? Do you see a spark developing? He said there is a possibility, and I want to say to Dean, no. Even if tomorrow she wakes up and she says she loves you, I don't think it's worth you pursuing that relationship. I would rather you go home, heal from this experience, and your person will find you. There's no point in you forcing something with someone who doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. He spoke about the disrespect during the first dinner party, and I love that his friend said, you know, you said you would not tolerate any disrespect, and so she disrespected you at the dinner party, you stayed. She disrespected you again with the comments about saying, you know, if you were straight, I would have dated you, and yet you continue to stay. Why are you staying? Why are you continuing to allow the disrespect? You allowed it the first time. You don't need to continue to put up with it. And I agree with him, and I totally get where he's coming from. So it's now up to Dean to decide that does he want to stay on the show so he can get help and develop as a person, or does he want to go home, heal, and hopefully look for his person in the real world? I think the latter is better. I think at times being an influencer is not worth it if you continue to succumb to so much trauma and pressure. But anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Click on the link on my video to watch my review from episode 13. Bye guys.